Across the planet, nature continues to create unexpected and quiet moments where natural phenomena interact in ways that defy ordinary explanation. Beneath the deep blue sky, brilliant ribbons of the aurora borealis ripple and twist like flowing silk, spreading a soft, ethereal light over the frozen ground below. Under the clear waters of Cenote Angelita, sunlight penetrates the depths, casting soft, hazy beams that illuminate layers of color and the textured bottom of the sinkhole in a mysterious and tranquil way. These extraordinary moments remind us that the Earth still holds countless hidden wonders, waiting to be discovered, inviting us to witness nature reveal its most subtle and remarkable secrets. Underwater tornado at Cenote Angelita. Sunlight streams into the clear waters of Cenote Angelita, lighting up the deep hole and making every layer of water and sediment visible with surprising clarity. Explorers move slowly through the calm, transparent water, surrounded by ghostly shapes formed by fine particles suspended in the depths. Beams of light cut through the water, creating shifting patterns that highlight the extraordinary clarity and serene beauty of the cenote. The layers of sediment and mineral-rich water interact subtly with the sunlight, forming soft textures and gradients that seem to float in place. This scene shows how water, light, and minerals combine to create a quiet, mesmerizing underwater world that feels both alive and timeless. Aurora Borealis. High above the polar regions, charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's atmosphere, creating vast displays of shifting light across the night sky. The Aurora Borealis appears as wide bands and moving curtains, stretching across the horizon in arcs that ripple slowly and then fade. Colors shift between green, purple, and red, spreading in uneven patterns that glow softly against the frozen ground below. This rare natural phenomenon shows how the planet's upper atmosphere turns invisible forces into one of Earth's most striking displays of light. Wildebeest migration. The wildebeest migration is a long journey across wide grasslands where thousands of animals move together in search of fresh, grazing grounds. They pass through dry plains where water is scarce, forcing them to keep moving day after day with little chance to rest. Large rivers stand in their path, with strong currents and crocodiles adding constant danger alongside lions waiting nearby. This journey is known for its many hardships, yet it continues every year as a powerful cycle of survival on the African plains. Migingo Island. A small rocky island, less than 3 acres in size, rises from the northeastern waters of Lake Victoria, its slopes almost fully occupied by sheets of tin and wooden frames. Despite the island's tiny footprint, it has become one of the most densely populated settlements on the lake, leaving little open ground between the clustered dwellings. Its surrounding waters provide fish that people depend on each day. Yet this same resource has also sparked long disputes between neighboring nations over control. Migingo shows how a place so narrow can hold both daily survival and political tension, with land and water pressed tightly against each other. Giant waves at Nazaré. At the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, immense waves rise like moving walls of water, their height magnified by the vast canyon hidden beneath the surface. The seafloor's unusual shape channels energy toward the shoreline, allowing the waves to build into towering swells unmatched in most parts of the world. Each surge pushes forward with measured force, rolling in massive arcs that reveal both the scale and rhythm of the ocean's motion. This rare meeting of deep currents and coastal form has made Nazaré known for some of the largest and most powerful waves ever recorded. Namib Desert Coast. The Namib Desert Coast is one of the rare places where towering sand dunes drop directly into the ocean, creating a bold contrast between golden slopes and deep blue water along the shore. Long ridges of sand extend along the coastline, their steep, irregular slopes casting extended shadows that emphasize the texture, height, and movement of the dunes under the bright sunlight. The sunlight sweeps across the landscape, illuminating shifting patterns in the sand and clearly defining the sharp boundary where the arid desert meets the calm, open ocean. Bioluminescent bays. At night, the waters of bioluminescent bays glow with vivid blue light, tracing every ripple across the calm surface in a mesmerizing display. Gentle waves illuminate as tiny organisms emit bursts of energy, creating intricate, shimmering patterns that shift continuously across the water. The luminous water contrasts with the surrounding darkness, emphasizing the ethereal glow and unusual movement of the glowing organisms. These bays demonstrate the dynamic interaction of marine life and environmental conditions, producing a continuous natural light show that highlights the bay's fleeting and extraordinary beauty. Frozen forests. Frozen forests form when long periods of cold leave trees covered in thick layers of snow, turning entire stretches of woodland into a solid, white landscape. The heavy snow sits firmly on branches and trunks, creating shapes that look uniform across the forest, with little change from one tree to another. These frozen scenes often appear in regions where winters are strong and sunlight is too weak to melt the snow for many weeks at a time. They stand as natural records of harsh seasonal conditions, showing how whole forests can be shaped and held still by extreme cold. Crystal Cave in Nika. Massive crystals fill the Nika Cave, growing from the walls and ceiling into sharp, angular forms that reflect the faint light in the underground space. The crystal surfaces glimmer subtly, showing the natural geometry and transparency that make each formation appear both solid and delicate. The cave reveals the result of mineral-rich waters over thousands of years, creating a unique environment where geology and chemistry produce extraordinary structures. Horsetail Fall Firefall. Each year in late winter, the low sun of the late afternoon aligns with the vertical drop of Horsetail Fall in Yosemite, and the narrow cascade becomes fully lit for just a short time. During these few afternoons, the falling water turns into a streak of orange and deep red, giving the impression of molten fire sliding down the sheer granite wall. This rare phenomenon, known as the firefall, lasts only minutes before the light shifts, making it one of the most precise and fleeting displays shaped by season, angle, and stone. Pamukkale Pools. The terraces of Pamukkale spread across the hillside in broad steps of white limestone, their smooth layers shaped slowly by the flow of mineral-rich water. Shallow pools form along the ledges, holding clear blue water that shifts gently, the pale color standing out sharply against the chalk-white stone. Sunlight strikes the curved edges of the basins, causing the surfaces to glimmer and reveal subtle changes of tone between silver and soft blue. The water and stone shape a natural structure that appears both steady and shifting, leaving a landscape unlike any other in the region. Lava entering the ocean. Molten lava flows from the volcano, streaming down the slopes as it approaches the edge of the ocean with intense heat and glowing red-orange color. When it meets the water, clouds of steam explode into the air, creating a dramatic curtain that blurs the line between fire and sea. The hot lava shapes new rock formations instantly, forming jagged, blackened edges that extend into the waves and change the coastline. Bubbles and sizzles mark the violent interaction as the ocean reacts to the lava with hissing bursts and sudden surges. This rare and powerful phenomenon demonstrates the raw force of nature, showing how volcanic activity can rapidly reshape land where earth meets water. Morning Glory Clouds. Long, tubular, morning glory clouds stretch across the horizon, forming striking rolls that glide above the landscape in a rare and dramatic display. Sunlight illuminates the curved surfaces of the clouds, revealing subtle layers and textures that emphasize their unusual formation and immense scale. These clouds demonstrate the dynamic interaction of wind, temperature, and moisture, producing a fleeting natural phenomenon with precise, rolling patterns that dominate the sky. The tree-climbing goats. Goats climb high into argan trees in Morocco, moving gracefully among the branches as they reach the leaves scattered across the tree. Their hooves grip the twisted limbs firmly, allowing them to maintain balance while navigating the unusual vertical space with ease. The green foliage stands out against the dry, sun-baked surroundings, drawing attention to this rare and surprising sight in nature. This remarkable behavior shows the goat's adaptability, transforming ordinary trees into unexpected platforms in their arid environment. Split Apple Rock. A large granite boulder stands just off the shoreline, its body split by a deep vertical crack that divides the mass into two uneven but striking parts. The rounded surfaces lean apart as if pushed by slow pressure within the stone, creating an open gap that catches light and shadow across the water. Set against the calm horizon, this fractured rock appears both enduring and fragile, a quiet marker of time shaped by the persistence of natural forces. Boiling River. A river winds through the jungle with warm, steaming waters that reach unusually high temperatures, giving it a rare and striking character. Dense vegetation lines the banks, contrasting with the gently steaming water and highlighting the river's unusual warmth. Minerals and sediments swirl in the currents, forming subtle patterns on the surface as thin wisps of steam rise into the humid air above. This extraordinary phenomenon demonstrates the power of geothermal forces, turning a seemingly ordinary river into a unique natural feature. Tree of Life. A solitary tree stands in the desert, its broad canopy spreading widely over the dry, sandy ground. Its thick, twisted trunk and sprawling branches show many years of survival under harsh, arid conditions. The tree rises prominently above the barren terrain, creating a striking landmark in the desert landscape. This remarkable tree demonstrates how a single organism can sustain itself and influence the surrounding ecosystem in challenging conditions. The ancient civilization. Ruins of an ancient civilization rest on rugged terrain, marked by stone foundations that hint at structures long lost to time. The layout of walls and pathways reveals a careful organization, showing how people once shaped the land for living and defense. Erosion and shifting earth have altered the site, leaving scattered remains that still preserve traces of the original design. These enduring remnants stand as silent evidence of a society that once thrived and then faded into history. Snake Island. Snake Island is home to one of the densest snake populations in the world, with hundreds of serpents constantly interacting, hunting, and asserting dominance within the group. These snakes exhibit relentless behavior, competing for food and space while navigating complex social hierarchies that determine survival. Birds serve as the primary and almost exclusive food source, sustaining the island's vast snake population and driving much of their activity. The ecosystem demonstrates remarkable adaptation, where every movement, hunt, and interaction reflects the snake's strategies for survival in this isolated environment. mossy lava fields. Rough lava flows cover the landscape, their solidified surfaces almost entirely blanketed in thick green moss that softens the jagged shapes. Sunlight strikes the moss-covered lava, revealing sharp cracks and ridges while highlighting the intricate patterns formed where molten rock met time and moisture. The combination of dark, hardened lava and vibrant green moss creates a striking view, showing how life slowly reclaims and transforms a landscape shaped by volcanic activity. The Jawatan Forest. Tall trees rise densely into Jawatan Forest, their thick trunks and interlocking roots forming a network that shapes the forest floor and defines the terrain beneath. Branches twist and weave above, creating intricate formations that channel wind and light through the dense vegetation, demonstrating the complexity of growth in every layer. The forest reveals how tropical vegetation organizes into dense, intricate formations, producing a layered environment where light, soil, and structural growth interact to shape the ecosystem in full detail. Danakil Desert. The Danakil Desert stretches across a harsh, otherworldly landscape, its vast salt flats and mineral deposits forming patterns that seem almost unnatural. Steam rises from hot springs and volcanic craters, creating wisps of mist that mix with the intense sunlight, highlighting the vivid colors of the terrain. Jagged lava formations and salt-encrusted plains reveal the raw geological forces that shaped this extreme environment over millennia. This desert demonstrates the interaction of heat, mineral-rich soil, and volcanic activity, producing one of the most striking and inhospitable landscapes on Earth. Supercell. A supercell rises above the plains, its dark, rotating clouds forming a massive storm that dominates the sky. Strong winds swirl inside the storm, carrying heavy rain and debris across the flat landscape, moving unpredictably as the clouds rotate and build. Lightning flashes inside the dense clouds, revealing the immense energy of this rare and intense storm. This powerful phenomenon shows how nature can organize forces into a single, highly destructive system. Volcanic lightning. During violent eruptions, thick columns of ash surge upward into the atmosphere, where immense pressure and constant motion create strong electrical charges. As countless particles collide and separate within the plume, bolts of lightning emerge, carving sudden flashes across the heavy clouds of ash. The bright illumination reveals the restless movement hidden inside the eruption, exposing turbulent forms that shift and break apart with force. This phenomenon demonstrates how volcanic activity and atmospheric energy combine, producing a natural display marked by power and unpredictability. Lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds form over mountain peaks, creating layered, lens-shaped structures that stand out sharply against the clear sky. Sunlight illuminates their edges, revealing subtle curves and layers that shift as the clouds interact with the airflow above the terrain. The stacked formations extend across the slopes, showing how air currents and moisture combine to create distinctive cloud shapes. These clouds demonstrate the influence of topography on the atmosphere, producing patterns that are both striking and fleeting in the changing sky. Underwater volcanoes. Underwater volcanoes rise from the ocean floor, their dark, jagged peaks piercing the surrounding water and forming dramatic, isolated structures beneath the surface. Bubbles and mineral-rich plumes escape from fissures, creating shifting patterns that highlight the ongoing geothermal activity and dynamic nature of the sea floor. These formations demonstrate how volcanic processes shape the underwater landscape, producing complex terrain and striking geological features that remain hidden beneath the waves. Silfra. The clear waters of Silfra stretch between rock formations, revealing distinct layers and subtle textures that create a strong sense of depth beneath the surface. Gentle currents move steadily through the rift, shaping flowing patterns in the water that highlight its extraordinary clarity and serene motion. This scene demonstrates the interaction of submerged rock structures and moving water, forming a visually striking and remarkably tranquil underwater environment. Sandstorms. Sandstorms roll across the desert, lifting clouds of sand that make the horizon hard to see and cover the dunes in a golden haze. Strong winds push the sand over the land, shaping ridges and patterns, while carrying tiny particles across wide, dry areas. This dramatic weather turns the desert into a constantly changing landscape, showing how nature can move and reshape the earth with great force. White volcano. A volcano rises with pale, mineral-covered slopes, while a river of milky turquoise water winds through its crater, catching the eye with its unusual color. The soft, greenish blue of the water contrasts with the light-colored terrain, creating a rare and visually striking scene within the volcanic landscape. Its unusual formation makes the crater feel almost untouched and mysterious, unlike anything seen in typical volcanic areas. This extraordinary formation shows how geothermal forces shape both land and water, producing a unique spectacle that feels almost otherworldly. Ice volcano. An ice volcano rises from the frozen landscape, its conical shape built from layers of ice and snow like a miniature mountain. Steam or gas sometimes escapes from vents at the summit, forming a faint plume drifting into the cold air above. The surrounding ice reflects soft blues and whites, highlighting the contrast between the frozen structure and the barren terrain. This rare formation shows how unique conditions can shape ice and snow into striking, volcano-like features. Bait ball. Small fish gather tightly into a bait ball, moving as a single, swirling mass to confuse predators and protect themselves from attacks. Predators such as larger fish and seabirds circle around, striking in coordinated bursts as the bait ball shifts and twists under pressure. This remarkable natural behavior demonstrates the survival strategies of marine life, showing how prey and predator interact in a dynamic, high-stakes environment. Underwater waterfall. A dramatic underwater waterfall appears where dense, cold water cascades along the continental shelf, creating the illusion of a flowing abyss beneath the ocean's surface. Sediment and currents move with the descending water, forming swirling patterns that highlight the dynamic interaction between water layers and the sea floor. Light filtering from above creates shifting shades and contrasts, revealing the depth and scale of this unique underwater phenomenon. This feature demonstrates the ocean's powerful forces, shaping the sea floor and producing a striking and unusual underwater landscape. Fairy circles. Circular patches recur across the arid desert, forming nearly perfect rings that stand out against the smooth, bare soil and draw attention to their repeating pattern. The edges of each circle are sharply defined, showing subtle shifts in soil color and texture that mark the precise geometric shapes. These formations point to key environmental interactions of soil properties and climate, producing striking, repeating circles across the barren ground. Waimangu. Steam and hot water rise continuously from Waimangu, creating a dynamic scene that highlights the area's geothermal activity. The vibrant colors of the water and surrounding minerals shift subtly as heat and minerals interact under natural light. rising vapors form patterns and shapes that change with the movement of air and water, giving the landscape a constantly evolving character. This environment demonstrates the ongoing interaction of geothermal forces and water, producing a unique and striking natural spectacle. Giant bird cage. In the heart of the forest, giant cage-like structures stretch across the trees, creating spaces where birds move in constant, lively patterns. Sunlight filters through the framework, casting shifting shadows and highlighting the vibrant colors and motions of the birds within. Below the canopy, soft beams illuminate small water channels and clearings, adding depth and contrast to the bird's dynamic environment. This scene showcases the natural interaction of light, movement, and wildlife, producing a captivating and ever-changing spectacle in Mexico's forested areas. Tidal bores. Tidal bores surge upriver in a series of powerful waves, moving against the current and forming rolling, frothy walls that advance repeatedly. Each wave reshapes the riverbanks and mudflats, carrying sediment and debris far inland, while the force of water continues in successive bursts. This extraordinary natural event reveals the immense energy of tides, demonstrating how ocean forces can repeatedly transform rivers into dynamic, ever-changing landscapes. Halocline. A halocline forms where fresh and salt water converge, creating a sharply defined, shimmering boundary that separates the two layers beneath the surface. Light bends dramatically at this interface, producing the illusion of two distinct water surfaces that shift and ripple naturally with the currents. This rare and striking phenomenon highlights the complex dynamics of aquatic systems, showing how subtle changes in salinity can shape both the appearance and movement of water. Pyroclastic flows. Pyroclastic flows race down the slopes of a volcano, carrying a dense mix of hot gas, ash, and volcanic debris at incredible speeds. The fiery cloud moves with overwhelming force, flattening everything in its path and reshaping the landscape in minutes. Ash and smoke billow into the sky, creating a dark, choking curtain that can travel miles from the eruption's site. This powerful and destructive phenomenon demonstrates the extreme energy of volcanic activity and its capacity to transform the surrounding environment rapidly. Devil's Tower. Rising straight from the surrounding plains, the massive stone column displays vertical grooves that stretch unbroken from base to summit. Its unusual form was shaped by ancient volcanic activity, where molten rock cooled slowly and solidified into towering geometric walls. The steep sides and flat top give it the appearance of a natural monument, distinct from the rolling hills and forests around it. For centuries, it has drawn attention from explorers and settlers alike, becoming a subject of both study and legend. Today it remains a striking landmark, standing alone as a reminder of the slow geological processes that shape the region. Bergasthaus, Asia. A wooden inn clings tightly to the face of a steep cliff, its pale walls contrasting with the dark vertical rock rising high above it. The building nestles at the junction of stone and slope, where green pastures soften the base before the mountain walls push sharply upward. From afar, its placement seems improbable, as if balanced between the calm of the valley floor and the rugged heights surrounding it. For centuries, it has stood in this precarious position, enduring the alpine climate while remaining a landmark of both resilience and striking natural harmony.